Jasmine lives in a world where everything is in its right place: a prestigious job at a magazine, a fiancé named Ryle, confident, reliable, a man she can build a future with. One morning, she notices a woman on the rooftop across from her: short hair, steady movements, a gaze, direct, a little daring. It's Dallas, a builder who seems to be made of strength and freedom itself. And in the moment their eyes meet, Jasmine feels a strange, quiet pull. A few days pass. Jasmine's friend convinces her to go out to a club to unwind before the wedding. Music, dancing, noise. And then, her again. Dallas, the same woman from her thoughts, drawn to her as if by an invisible thread. Their conversation begins innocently, but every word feels too close. Jasmine tries to joke, to walk away, but Dallas follows. Outside, the night air is cold, and in that pause between breaths, Dallas simply steps forward and kisses her. Jasmine freezes at first, then pulls away, reminding herself she has a fiancé. But it's too late. That touch has already left its mark deep beneath her skin. That night will become the beginning of everything that changes. And Jasmine, overwhelmed by strange emotions, runs home. The next morning, Jasmine returns to her usual life. Her fiancé is preparing for a business trip. She smiles, nods, says all the right words. But her thoughts keep circling back to that woman from the bar. As if fate is playing with her, they cross paths again. Dallas appears suddenly, confident, calm, with that same steady gaze that makes Jasmine's breath catch. Dallas invites her to spend the evening together, and Jasmine agrees, unable to explain why or what she hopes to find. Evening found Dallas waiting outside Jasmine's home. She was dazzling in a form-fitting black dress that accentuated every curve of her slender figure. In the cozy half-light of the bar, a conversation began, but soon the light flirtation gave way to something more intense. At one moment, Dallas's fingers lightly brushed against her leg and, meeting no resistance, ventured higher, beneath the silken fabric of the dress. That bold gesture was the last straw. Coming to her senses, Jasmine abruptly asked for the check and tried to leave, but Dallas pulled her close and captured her in a kiss. Stunned, Jasmine broke free and rushed out into the street. Gasping for breath, she turned the corner, but Dallas had already caught up with her. Grabbing her arm, she drew Jasmine close again. This time the kiss was not a rough capture, but a passionate, commanding demand to which Jasmine had no rebuttal. All her defenses crumbled in an instant, and now they were in Dallas's apartment, where all boundaries were left at the door. The world narrowed to the touch of the hot blonde, in whose embrace Jasmine completely dissolved, no longer wishing to resist. Morning greeted Jasmine with sunlight streaming through the large window. The silence was suddenly broken by a phone call. It was her fiancé. He said he was delayed on his business trip due to a heavy blizzard. Dallas, who had woken up much earlier, was watching her tenderly. A light, heartfelt conversation began, where they shared intimate stories about their lives. Then they set out on a boat ride, where the gentle wind and the sound of the waves created a romantic atmosphere. Later, walking barefoot along the sandy shore, they continued to learn more about each other. Dallas embraced Jasmine from behind, pressing close, and in that moment, it felt as if they had been together for an eternity. Every minute, every second spent together was filled with a special feeling, warm and all-encompassing. And in this harmony came a swift and clear realization. They were truly in love. Dallas drives Jasmine home. Unable to part, they linger in the car, lost in each other. At that moment, her fiancé calls, but Jasmine doesn't notice the ring. She is too captivated. Meanwhile, he leaves a message saying he's called a taxi and will be home soon. Suddenly, the sky opens up, releasing a torrential downpour upon the city. Dallas gets out of the car, opens the passenger door, and Jasmine steps. They cannot bring themselves to say goodbye, and their kiss in the pouring rain smoothly escalates into a fervent passion that continues inside Jasmine's home. They lose themselves in each other, greedily absorbing every moment of this forbidden connection, powerless to stop. But abruptly, a sharp noise at the door, and Jasmine's fiancé Riley appears on the threshold. Seeing them together, stunned, he immediately turns and leaves. Jasmine runs after him. She tries to explain, to justify everything, but Riley is consumed with anger and refuses to listen. Dallas returns home, her heart heavy with the realization of the problems and pain she has caused in Jasmine's life. In the morning, Jasmine tries to salvage the relationship, assuring Riley that she loves him, and that what happened with Dallas was a momentary weakness, a mistake. But Riley is adamant. He demands that Jasmine cut all ties with Dallas immediately and right in front of him. Jasmine, overwhelmed and defeated, agrees, and they drive to Dallas's place together. Tears welled up in Jasmine's eyes as she crossed the threshold into Dallas's apartment. Her voice trembled as she uttered the most difficult words, "We need to break up." She tried to explain that despite the strength of their feelings, the circumstances were stronger than them. For Dallas, these words were a gut punch. Pain tightened around her chest, but, clenching her teeth, she struggled to maintain her composure and dignity. In that farewell moment, Jasmine kissed her. Not a kiss of passion, but a bitter, desperate goodbye. Turning around, she left, leaving behind not just a closed door, but the shattered pieces of Dallas's heart. In the car, trying to numb the inner void, Jasmine asked Riley to drive her to work, but neither distance nor attempts to return to their former lives could erase their memory of each other. Dallas, alone, could only think of Jasmine. Jasmine, while next to Riley, found her thoughts drifting back to Dallas. While Jasmine mustered her last ounces of strength to mend her relationship with Riley, Dallas drowned her sorrows in alcohol and loud parties. But the wine didn't warm her, the music couldn't fill the silence in her soul, and the embraces of others felt hollow and false. With painful clarity, she understood. It all felt alien because her heart desired only one thing: to be with Jasmine. Meanwhile, Jasmine arrived at a difficult but undeniable decision. She could no longer lie to herself or to Riley. With words of deep regret, she asked for his forgiveness. In the film's finale, as Dallas sits on a park bench, lost in her thoughts, Jasmine approaches her softly and sits down beside her. They gaze into each other's eyes, loving, radiant. They are finally where they are meant to be, together.